Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
Pain that feels hot as if it were on fire. Undergo combustion. Maple wood burns well. Use up energy. Burn off calories through vigorous exercise. Get a sunburn by overexposure to the sun. Cause to undergo combustion. Burn garbage. Shine intensely, as if with heat. The candles were burning. A browning of the skin resulting from exposure to the rays of the sun. Cause to burn or combust. The sun burned off the fog. Cause a sharp or stinging pain or discomfort. The sun burned his face. Burn, sear, or freeze tissue, using a hot iron or electric current or a caustic agent. A place or area that has been burned, especially on a person's body. Create by duplicating data. Burn a CD. Destroy by fire. They burned the house and his diaries. An injury caused by exposure to heat or chemicals or radiation. Damage by burning with heat, fire, or radiation. The iron burnt a hole in my dress. Damage inflicted by fire. Execute by tying to a stake and setting alight. Witches were burned in Salem. Feel hot or painful. My eyes are burning. Feel strong emotion, especially anger or passion. She was burning with anger. Spend significant amounts of money. He has money to burn. Pain that feels hot as if it were on fire. Execution by fire. A process in which a substance reacts with oxygen to give heat and light. Execution by electricity. The act of burning something. The burning of leaves was prohibited by a town ordinance. A form of torture in which cigarettes or cigars or other hot implements are used to burn the victim's skin. Of immediate import. Burning issues of the day. Undergo combustion. Start to burn or burst into flames. The oily rags combusted spontaneously. Cause to burn or combust. We combust coal and other fossil fuels. Get very angry and fly into a rage. The professor combusted when the student didn't know the answer to a very elementary question. Cause to become violent or angry. Riots combusted Pakistan after the U.S. air attacks on Afghanistan. Use up energy. Burn off calories through vigorous exercise. Clear land of its vegetation by burning it off. Burn brightly. Use up energy. Burn completely. Be consumed or destroyed by fire. Get a sunburn by overexposure to the sun. A browning of the skin resulting from exposure to the rays of the sun. Redness of the skin caused by exposure to the rays of the sun. Cause to undergo combustion. Become reduced to ashes. The paper incinerated quickly. Light from non-thermal sources. Shine intensely, as if with heat. The coals were glowing in the dark. an alert and refreshed state. The phenomenon of light emission by a body as its temperature is rays. An appearance of reflected light. Experience a feeling of well-being or happiness, as from good health or an intense emotion. Have a complexion with a strong bright color, such as red or pink. Her face glowed when she came out of the sauna. The amount of electromagnetic radiation leaving or arriving at a point on a surface. A feeling of considerable warmth. The glow of new love. A steady, even light without flames. Be exuberant or high-spirited. Make the people's hearts glow. Emit a steady, even light without flames. The fireflies were glowing and flying about in the garden. A browning of the skin resulting from exposure to the rays of the sun. Get a tan from being exposed to the sun. Ratio of the opposite to the adjacent side of a right-angled triangle. A browning of the skin resulting from exposure to the rays of the sun. A light brown, the color of topaz. Get a tan, from wind or sun. Of a light yellowish-brown color. Treat skins and hides with tannic acid so as to convert them into leather. A painful wound caused by the thrust of an insect stinger into skin. A small amount of solid food, a mouthful. Wit having a sharp and caustic quality. The bite of satire. A light informal meal. A strong odor or taste property. The sulfurous bite of garlic. The act of gripping or chewing off with the teeth and jaws. Deliver a sting to. To grip, cut off, or tear with or as if with the teeth or jaws. Gunny invariably tried to bite her. Cause a sharp or stinging pain or discomfort. Angling, an instance of a fish taking the bait. After fishing for an hour he still had not had a bite. A portion removed from the whole. The government's weekly bite from my paycheck. A wound resulting from biting by an animal or a person. Penetrate or cut, as with a knife. A painful wound caused by the thrust of an insect stinger into skin. A mental pain or distress. Operation designed to catch a person committing a criminal act. The police conducted a sting operation. Deliver a sting to. Cause a stinging pain. Cause a sharp or stinging pain or discomfort. A kind of pain, something as sudden and painful as being stung. The sting of death. A swindle in which you cheat at gambling or persuade a person to buy worthless property. Saddle with something disagreeable or disadvantageous. Cause an emotional pain, as if by stinging. Burn, sear, or freeze tissue, using a hot iron or electric current or a caustic agent. Make insensitive or callous, deaden feelings or morals. Burn, sear, or freeze tissue, using a hot iron or electric current or a caustic agent. The surgeon cauterized the wart. Make insensitive or callous, deaden feelings or morals. A place or area that has been burned, especially on a person's body. The omission that is made when an editorial change shortens a written passage. Weed out unwanted or unnecessary things. We had to lose weight, so we cut the sugar from our diet. Cut down on. Make a reduction in. The employer wants to cut back health benefits. The act of penetrating or opening open with a sharp edge. His cut in the lining revealed the hidden jewels. Made neat and tidy by trimming. In baseball, a batter's attempt to hit a pitched ball. He took a vicious cut at the ball. Used of rates or prices, reduced usually sharply. Lessen the strength or flavor of a solution or mixture. Cut bourbon. Cut and assemble the components of. Cut recording tape. Used of grass or vegetation, cut down with a hand implement or machine. Reduce in scope while retaining essential elements. The act of cutting something into parts. His cuts were skillful. Refuse to acknowledge. She cut him dead at the meeting. Turn sharply. Change direction abruptly. The car cut to the left at the intersection. Be able to manage or manage successfully. She could not cut the long days in the office. Mixed with water. Sold cut whiskey. A refusal to recognize someone you know. The act of shortening something by chopping off the ends. The barber gave him a good cut. Sports. A stroke that puts reverse spin on the ball. Cuts do not bother a good tennis player. Style and tailor in a certain fashion. Cut a dress. With parts removed. The drastically cut film. A wound made by cutting. He put a bandage over the cut. Create by duplicating data. Cut a disk. Cease, stop. Cut the noise. Cut off the testicles, of male animals such as horses. A piece of meat that has been cut from an animal carcass. Make out an issue. Cut a ticket. A trench resembling a furrow that was made by erosion or excavation. A remark capable of wounding mentally. The unkindest cut of all. Intentionally fail to attend. Cut class. A distinct selection of music from a recording or a compact disc. He played the first cut on the CD. The division of a deck of cards before dealing. He insisted that we give him the last cut before every deal. Of a male animal, having the testicles removed. A cut horse. Cuss to stop operating by disengaging a switch. Cut the engine. A canal made by erosion or excavation. Allow incision or separation. This bread cuts easily. An unexcused absence from class. He was punished for taking too many cuts in his math class. A share of the profits. Everyone got a cut of the earnings. A step on some scale. He is a cut above the rest. Discharge from a group. The coach cut 2 players from the team. Dissolve by breaking down the fat of. Soap cuts grease. Divide a deck of cards at random into 2 parts to make selection difficult. Wayne cut. Fashioned or shaped by cutting. A well-cut suit. fell by sawing. Hugh. The Vietnamese cut a lot of timber while they occupied Cambodia. Film. An immediate transition from one shot to the next. The cut from the accident scene to the hospital seemed too abrupt. Form by probing, penetrating, or digging. Cut a hole. Form or shape by cutting or incising. Cut paper dolls. Function as a cutting instrument. This knife cuts well. Give the appearance or impression of. Cut a nice figure. Grow through the gums. The new tooth is cutting. Have a reducing effect. This cuts into my earnings. Have grow through the gums. The baby cut a tooth. Hit a ball with a spin so that it turns in the opposite direction. Cut a ping pong ball. Make an abrupt change of image or sound. Cut from one scene to another. Make an incision or separation. Cut along the dotted line. Make a recording of. Cut the songs. Move one's fist. His opponent cut upward toward his chin. Pass directly and often in haste. We cut through the neighbor's yard to get home sooner. Pass through or across. The boat cut the water. Penetrate injuriously. The glass from the shattered windshield cut into her forehead. Perform or carry out. Cut a caper. Reap or harvest. Cut grain. Record a performance on a medium. Cut a record. Separated into parts or laid open or penetrated with a sharp edge or instrument. The cut surface was modeled. Separate with or as if with an instrument. Shorten as if by severing the edges or ends of. Cut my hair. Stop filming. Cut a movie scene. The act of reducing the amount or number. The mayor proposed extensive cuts in the city budget. The style in which a garment is cut. A dress of traditional cut. Of pages of a book, having the folds of the leaves trimmed or slit. The cut pages of the book. Burn completely. Be consumed or destroyed by fire. Destroy by fire. Call forth emotions, feelings, and responses. Provide with fuel. Oil fires the furnace. Start firing a weapon. Go off or discharge. The gun fired. The process of combustion of inflammable materials producing heat and light and, often, smoke. Fire was one of our ancestors' first discoveries. Start or maintain a fire in. Fire the furnace. Feelings of great warmth and intensity. Become ignited. The furnace wouldn't fire. The act of firing weapons or artillery at an enemy. Hold your fire until you can see the whites of their eyes. Intense adverse criticism. Clinton directed his fire at the Republican Party. Terminate the employment of. Discharge from an office or position. The boss fired his secretary today. Cause to go off. Fire a gun. Destroy by fire. A fireplace in which a relatively small fire is burning. They sat by the fire and talked. A severe trial. He went through fire and damnation. Bake in a kiln so as to harden. Fire pottery. Drive out or away by or as if by fire. The soldiers were fired. Fuel that is burning and is used as a means for cooking. Put the kettle on the fire. Generate an electrical impulse. The neurons fired fast. Once thought to be one of 4 elements composing the universe, Empedocles. The event of something burning, often destructive. They lost everything in the fire. Cause emotional anguish or make miserable. It pains me to see my children not being taught well in school. A symptom of some physical hurt or disorder. The patient developed severe pain and distension. Cause bodily suffering to and make sick or indisposed. Emotional distress. A fundamental feeling that people try to avoid. The pain of loneliness. A somatic sensation of acute discomfort. As the intensity increased, the sensation changed from tickle to pain. Something or someone that causes trouble, a source of unhappiness. A bothersome, annoying person. That kid is a terrible pain. A symptom of some physical hurt or disorder. Undergo a transformation or a change of position or action. To break and turn over earth, especially with a plow. Turn the earth in the spring. Twist suddenly so as to sprain. I turned my ankle and couldn't walk for several days. Pass into a condition gradually, take on a specific property or attribute, become. The weather turned nasty. Cause to move around a center so as to show another side of. Turn a page of a book. Undergo a change or development. The water turned into ice. Let something fall or spill from a container. Turn the flour onto a plate. Cause a plastic object, to assume a crooked or angular form. The strong man could turn an iron bar. Undergo a transformation or a change of position or action. We turned from socialism to capitalism. Pass to the other side of. Turn the corner. Have recourse to or make an appeal or request for help or information to. She turned to her relatives for help. Turning or twisting around, in place. A favor for someone. He did me a good turn. Change to the contrary. The tides turned against him. Game. The activity of doing something in an agreed succession. It is my turn. A short performance that is part of a longer program. A circular segment of a curve. Sports. A division during which one team is on the offensive. A time period for working, after which you will be relieved by someone else. A movement in a new direction. The turning of the wind. An unforeseen development. Events suddenly took an awkward turn. The act of changing or reversing the direction of the course. He took a turn to the right. Go sour or spoil. The cream has turned, we have to throw it out. Accomplish by rotating. Turn a somersault. Alter the functioning or setting of. Turn the dial to 10. Become officially 1 year older. She is turning 50 this year. Cause to change or turn into something different. Assume new characteristics. The princess turned the frog into a prince by kissing him. Cause to move along an axis or into a new direction. Turn your face to the wall. Cause to move around or rotate. Turn a key. Change color. In Vermont, the leaves turn early. Change orientation or direction, also in the abstract sense. The mugger turned and fled before I could see his face. Channel one's attention, interest, thought, or attention toward or away from something. The pedophile turned to boys for satisfaction. Direct at someone. She turned a smile on me. Get by buying and selling. The company turned a good profit after a year. Move around an axis or a center. The wheels are turning. Shape by rotating on a lathe or cutting device or a wheel. Turn the legs of the table. Taking a short walk out and back. We took a turn in the park. The act of turning away or in the opposite direction. He made an abrupt turn away from her. To send or let go. They turned away the crowd at the gate of the governor's mansion. Serve oneself to, or consume regularly. Use up, resources or materials. This car consumes a lot of gas. Spend extravagantly. Eat up completely, as with great appetite. Destroy completely. The fire consumed the building. Engage fully. The effort to pass the exam consumed all his energy. Take in food, used of animals only. This dog doesn't eat certain kinds of meat. Use up, resources or materials. Worry or cause anxiety in a persistent way. What's eating you? Cause to deteriorate due to the action of water, air, or an acid. Eat a meal. Take a meal. We did not eat until 10 p.m. because there were so many phone calls. Take in solid food. She was eating a banana. Finish eating all the food on one's plate or on the table. Use up, resources or materials. Enclose or envelop completely, as if by swallowing. Use up, resources or materials. Require, time or space. Use up, resources or materials. Eliminate completely and without a trace. Kill in large numbers. Mark for deletion, rub off, or erase. Remove from memory or existence. Wipe out the effect of something. Use up, resources or materials. We exhausted our savings. Wear out completely. This kind of work exhausts me. Eliminate, a substance. Combustion products are exhausted in the engine. Gases ejected from an engine as waste products. System consisting of the parts of an engine through which burned gases or steam are discharged. Deplete. Exhaust one's savings. Use up the whole supply of. We have exhausted the food supplies. Use up resources or materials. Apply thoroughly. Think through. Use up resources or materials. They run through 20 bottles of wine a week. Change color, often in an undesired manner. The shirt's discolored. Cause to lose or change color. The detergent discolored my shirts. Lose color or turn colorless. The painting discolored.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.